First of all, Justin, welcome to our program. Appreciate it a lot. And watching Chris, it doesn't matter how few you watch him, but what are your expectations from him? What you guys can get result-wise in 10 weeks before the draft?
It's a great question. My expectations for him is always and will be sky's the limit. A lot of people will put him top 20, top 25 in this NBA draft. I think he is the most ready draft pick in this draft. I think he will prove a lot of people wrong and will be the best player out of this NBA draft. And that's what I think, and that's what he thinks, and that's what we're going to work toward.
The first battle begins here?
Yes. No ifs, ands, or buts. Whenever we are around, our focus is basketball. Whenever we get around each other, that's all we think about is competition and how to get better. So, it starts in the mind, and as you know, the body follows.
How do you push him to that level that you think that he can get?
Well, luckily for me, Chris is self-motivated. First thing he said to me when he came and picked me up in the airport is, how much can we work out every day? How many times can we work out every day? Justin, I want to get to work. So for me to hear that is like gold.
It was a blessing right away.
It was. To hear that, it brought a smile to my face. I like to work. I love to work. That's how I got to where I'm at. But to hear that from him.
Okay, your plan. You don't have to detail it all, but how it goes in those weeks is like training. For example, if it's a gym, if it's a playground, how it's going to be.
Yeah, from he'll wake up. We'll work on his body. He'll have strength and conditioning work with a personalized trainer. We'll hit the basketball court for 2 to 3 hours a day. He'll have recovery. He'll have film to study on himself and the NBA. And we'll probably go back in the gym at night. And he'll have to do this 6-7 days a week for the next 10 weeks.
Wow.
That will be his life.
He'll be in jail. Like let's use that. He'll be locked in on that.
He'll be in. Yes, but he'll be treated. He'll be treated like LeBron James. He'll be treated like Kevin Durant. He'll have the best people in the world around him to work on his body and his game. So, for him, for most people, that's jail. For him, he'll be in basketball heaven. Like I said, I believe in him. I think he's one of the best players in this draft. And I'm going to put the people around him that treat him like that and have that expertise.
The team is going to be how big? 3, 4, 5?
Yeah. I have my uncle, Eduardo Gómez, of course. And then I have specialists that work on his body. So anywhere from 5 to 10 people from all over the country, all over the world will be working on Chris. And then, of course, Chris has his support staff, his family, which is great. He has J.J. Rodriguez, who's here, and a couple other Dominicans that'll be here for him.
There's something you discussed with the player before it starts, right? You
Yeah.
let him know how hard it's going to be.
Yes. From now on, and that's why I think he kind of chose me, is because of how hard we worked before in COVID. We got on the court, and I put him through that with another Dominican teammate, LJ Figueroa. And I think that's why he chose me. And trusted me with his game. But sky's the limit for him, and we have to reach that.
So it's not only the physical work, but also basketball work.
Correct.
As well.
Correct. My background is in, I worked for the Miami Heat. I worked for the Chicago Bulls as a video coordinator. So I have a heavy film background and analytics background. So I study a lot of data and numbers. So I try to put together a program that fits Chris and his game. And then we try to put that on the basketball court. The same thing I've done with Kevin Durant or John Wall or Dwight Howard or Shaquille O'Neal or Dwayne Wade. So before we hit the court, there's a lot of studying that goes on. While he was in college, he watched film. We worked on that. So, it's a big mental part. And people just think it's, you go on the basketball court and I train you and let's work really hard. No, now I want to make it more scientific to where we're studying what he's good at, what he's not good at, and then we work on both. And I study his numbers, we study his film, and then we try to perfect that on the basketball court.
The NBA of today, which is the difference from before the Splash Brothers, let's use that point of comparison.
From Golden State?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
got,
from that era on, the NBA of today compared to the NBA of the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Or the end of the 2000s.
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, most people watch basketball for competition. They watch it to watch their superstars, Magic Johnson, the Michael Jordans, Kobe Bryant's, go against, the other team. Now it's changed to, it's a lot more team oriented, and those role players now have bigger, responsibilities in the game. So, and it's all now data driven. So they can analyze, is this guy doing his job? Is he not? Who is, who isn't? Is our superstar doing his job? Is he or is he not?
How do they do that?
Well, now they have cameras, maybe 13, 14, 15 cameras that are tracking everything from how many steps you take, how fast you went, did you do this well, did you do not, were you in the right place, were you not? And now, it started in baseball with analytics and Moneyball, and now they fit in different players, and now it's into basketball. So now they're looking at the game a lot more scientifically to find out who's efficient and who isn't.
And they show that to the players? They share that information?
They don't, for the most part. That's what I do. I share that with Chris, and I want him to make him the most efficient, as well as the highest IQ and the smartest basketball player, and the smartest Dominican basketball player to ever play.
Really?
That's my goal.
You mentioned the IQ. That's a real asset right now, right? It's always been. I guess basketball, you need to be smart, but now more than ever, probably?
Yes. Now more than ever with data and film, social media, TV, everything now is being looked at. Every step, everything that player says, everything is being scrutinized.
As a whole.
Correct. Basketball has grown. It's becoming the most popular sport. Of course soccer is, but it's growing to be the most popular sport. So the stakes are higher.
You say something important, and my next question is going in that direction. You want him to be the best player he can with a higher IQ. And he said that he's a player that can create his own offense. How good is that for him in terms of going to the NBA and applying that when he was playing the NBA?
Yeah, that's the name of the game of the NBA. To be able to create your own shot, create your own play, or make a play for other people. So for Chris to want to do that, and move on from his different role in college and want to expand that, that's the goal, and that's
he's
the plan.
Capable of it?
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he can be the most capable player at this because he's smart. He was top 2, top 3 most efficient players in college, and people don't know that. And our plan is to do that at the NBA level.
Keyword, efficient. They pay for it.
For sure. Top dollar.
You work with D-Wade?
Kevin Durant, Dwight Howard, Shaquille O'Neal, Paul George, John Wall, Anthony Simons, who just won the Slam Dunk contest. Montrezl Harrell just won the 6th Man of the Year award. He's just been working for the last 2 years. Ben Simmons, the #1 draft pick. I've been able to touch a lot of players.
What can you say about KD?
I think you said it, KD.
That's enough.
He's one of the most fun people to watch. He does it very easy, effortless. His IQ is off the charts, and he's 7 feet tall, but he can handle the ball and do whatever he needs to do. He can also play defense. So, it's a joy to watch him play every day, and it's a joy to know that other people enjoy watching him play.
He's a hard worker, right?
He is one of the hardest I've ever had.
There's no way you reach that level if you don't work.
No, that's what he did. People can say it's because he's tall, he's this. From day zero, that kid will outwork you 2-3 times a day. 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. That's what he does.
That's how the great ones get it.
And so is Chris.
I guess that one of the problems with KD is that he has a customers to see it so easily to score, and that's not easy.
No,
Not at all.
it is not.
Not easy to score. What about the way?
Same.
I have a lot of respect for that young man.
Man, same thing. To see what he did in college, unknown, and make his way to being a superstar in the NBA. See how many times that guy fell on the floor, got back up, to be able to team up with other players and fit in while being a star, and to look at him now, retired and on TV. Now, last week he got partnership with the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
It was awesome to know that, to see him when I was 24, 25 years old as a video intern from Miami, and him befriend me and take me in and show me the ropes, and to see how far he's come is just awesome, man. I feel honored.
You worked there when LeBron arrived or no?
I was not. No, I was working with Kevin Durant then.
Okay. Oh.
On my own.
On your own. So when you were with the Bulls first?
I was with the Miami Heat first.
Which years?
2007, 2008, and then after that, the Chicago Bulls and Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah and Luol Deng. That team.
And when did you start to work privately?
2 years later, I started with Ben Gordon, and after that, I started with Kevin Durant, and the rest has kind of been history.
Okay. There's been some times where you really have to have a battle with an athlete, right?
All the time. All the time. And if there isn't a battle, I'm going to make one.
Why?
Because my job is to push them.
And there's no way to push them if you don't get a battle. Yeah.
Simple enough. My job is to find whatever weakness it is and make it a strength. And if it's a strength, okay, let's keep pushing. So, it's a different style, but it's been working.
Thank you, man.